What was it like to be a servant in an Edwardian household? In the quiet houses of the Edwardian years, a servant's day moved with the soft rhythm of bells and footsteps. Mornings began before dawn, when halls were dim and the air was cool. There was comfort in familiar routines: polishing wood, laying cloth, warming rooms. Each task was done slowly and carefully. The house felt like a living thing, breathing gently as light crept through tall windows. Silence lingered kindly, and time seemed unhurried and safe within familiar walls. Days passed in service and quiet pride. Servants lived simply, often in small rooms tucked beneath the roof or near the kitchen. Evenings brought softer work. Candles were lit. Shoes were set by doors. There was tiredness but also belonging. Shared glances in corridors. Gentle laughter kept low. The world outside felt distant, while the house rested in calm order. Hours folded quietly into one another. Breath slowed. Thoughts stayed simple and steady, like steps on carpet at night. At night, the house settled into deep stillness. Servants retired with weary peace, listening to distant clocks and the hush of curtains. In those moments, there was rest in knowing one's place and purpose. The day loosened its hold. Thoughts drifted gently. The quiet wrapped everything in warmth, and the dark became soft and endless. Time thinned. Breathing eased. Silence remained, calm and kind, until nothing stirred at all. The middle hours of the day moved gently, marked by soft light shifting across floors. Servants worked quietly, almost unseen, keeping the house in balance. There was comfort in repetition. Folding linen, carrying trays, opening windows just enough to let fresh air pass through. Each movement was careful and calm. Voices stayed low. Footsteps were light. The house seemed to respond with patience, holding warmth and order in every corner. Meals were prepared with steady hands and quiet focus. The kitchen held its own calm rhythm, with simple sounds and familiar smells. There was no hurry, just the slow passing of time. When tasks were finished, a brief pause was allowed. A sip of tea, a moment by the door. Outside, the world waited, but inside, peace remained close. The servant's life was shaped by service, yet softened by routine and shared understanding. As afternoon faded, shadows lengthened along staircases and walls. Lamps were readied. Curtains were drawn with care. The house grew quieter, as if settling into itself. Servants felt the day easing away, layer by layer. Muscles relaxed. Thoughts slowed. The steady calm of the household wrapped around them, gentle and familiar. In this soft closing of the day, there was a deep stillness, warm and unbroken, drifting onward without sound. By early evening, the house softened further, wrapped in a gentle hush. Servants moved with practiced ease, finishing small tasks without thought or strain. Hands knew what to do. Minds stayed quiet. The glow of lamplight settled into rooms like warm breath. Outside sounds faded, leaving only the faint creak of wood and the distant murmur of streets far away. Inside, everything felt contained and calm, held together by habit and care. Supper hours passed quietly, and afterward came a slower pace. Dishes were cleared. Surfaces were wiped clean. Stairs were climbed and descended with unspoken understanding. There was comfort in these final duties, knowing they would soon be done. In shared spaces below stairs, servants rested briefly. A few words exchanged in soft tones. A sense of closeness, unremarked but real. The day felt long, yet gently complete. When night fully arrived, the household breathed in unison. Servants withdrew to their small rooms, simple and plain, yet peaceful. The body eased into stillness. The mind released its hold on the day. Thoughts became light and unimportant. Darkness gathered softly at the edges of vision. Time slowed until it barely moved. In that quiet, everything rested together, calm and untroubled, as silence stretched on, smooth and endless. Late at night, the house felt older and softer, as if it remembered every day that had passed within its walls. Servants who were still awake moved slowly, careful not to disturb the deepening quiet. Doors closed with a gentle touch. Lamps were turned low. The air felt calm and settled. Each room seemed to rest in its own silence, holding warmth from the day like a quiet promise. In the servants' quarters, the pace finally eased. Shoes were set aside. Hands were washed in cool water. There was a simple comfort in these small rituals. Beds were narrow, but familiar. Blankets carried the faint scent of soap and clean linen. Muscles relaxed after long hours of steady work. Thoughts wandered without effort, drifting through memories of the day, then slowly letting them go. As the night deepened, sounds grew distant and rare. A clock marked time in slow, even beats. Breathing became calm and unmeasured. The world outside the house seemed far away, softened by darkness. Within these quiet rooms, stillness settled fully. Nothing needed to be done. Nothing waited to be finished. The house rested, and so did those within it, held gently by the passing night, as everything faded into peaceful calm. As the night reached its deepest hour, the Edwardian house lay wrapped in complete quiet. Servants slept lightly, their rest shaped by habit and gentle tiredness. The walls seemed to breathe slowly. Floors held no footsteps now. Even the air felt still. Outside, darkness pressed softly against the windows, while inside, everything remained warm and settled, untouched by hurry or noise. In these final hours before dawn, the servants' world was simple and whole. Dreams came softly, made of familiar rooms and steady routines. The mind no longer clung to tasks or time. It floated instead, loose and unburdened. The long day dissolved into calm shadows. The body rested without effort. Nothing pulled or asked. Nothing needed to change. The house guarded this quiet carefully, like a gentle keeper of peace. Somewhere far away, the night continued its slow passing. Inside the house, stillness deepened even more. Breathing stayed slow and even. Thoughts thinned until they were barely there. The quiet became smooth and endless, spreading softly through every room and hallway. Time lost its edges. Everything remained calm, steady, and safe, resting within the gentle silence, where nothing stirred and nothing ever needed to. Good night.